Hello everyone, and welcome to another rough go at a video essay for another 100%. Can't believe I got another one done, to be honest. This whole 100%ing my games and doing a YouTube channel seems closer and closer now that I've finished 2 games in a month on my Steam Deck. And man, that Steam Deck was a really good choice. It's crazy. But now that I got my Steam Deck, they've already announced Steam Deck 2. This always fucking happens. I get a console, and then the next one is going to come out soon. I'm not missing out on the next one, I swear to God. And I'm not missing out on the Steam controller either. Nonetheless, I will get closer and closer to the 1,300 achievements on Payday 2, one game at a time, forcing myself to make that game be the last in my library until I have no choice but to finish it. Welcome to the game I've recently 100%ed, one game that's been in my library and in my life for about a decade now, almost, I'm pretty sure. Holy shit, it's been 11 years. I've been playing this game for 11 years, I'm old. Well, I've played this game a lot, and played around with mods, but never paid attention to the achievements until about 2 to 3 years ago. And during that phase, I said to myself, you know it would be a really funny prank if you deleted all your achievements and redid them. So I did that with Steam Achievement Manager. Removed them all, on some games, I think, and then started my journey undocumented. And then realized that some games would unlock all of the achievements just by booting the game up, like GTA 5 and Sea of Thieves. So then I said, okay, how about we document us doing this so it looks more credible? And also document us continuing on the games we left off on and can't reset. Anyways, I tell the story at the beginning of every video, kind of. Now 11 years after gaming and 3 years-ish after achievement hunting, I've finished running with rifles. And since it was one of the games I reset, I got to do all the achievements, this time for good. It is in my 100% folder now. But it's also in my 100% cleanup folder, which is reserved for games I've finished that I did not 100% all the achievements for. Now the reason I've done this, even though the achievements are done, is because this game contains DLCs that I've never played, but still purchased just to support the developers. There's no achievements tied to these, so I'll eventually come back and wipe the 100% folder clean, and get to try, all the DLCs out. Oh, and tiny side note, I just added Resident Evil 2 to the 100% cleanup folder, but since I was playing with my girlfriend at her place over the weekends, it was more of like a cozy personal game for us, so I have no footage. I just finished Leon's story, but I think I will play Claire's on my own just so I can get footage for it and actually post a video. Anyways, running with rifles. Let's get on our running shoes. Now, the first thing I want to talk about isn't the achievements, but I want to verbally write a love letter to Osumia Games. This game has been out for 11 years now, with its 11th birthday on April 2nd of 2026. Despite being out for that long, despite not having a high enough player count to display it on the community page, and despite the PvP online servers practically being dead, the devs of this game continue to show it so much love and so much care. They've been caring for this game for about 10 times as long as practically any AAA has been caring for theirs. They have events they publish like for Easter and Christmas and Halloween, and they even post events for the summer to provide players with things to do and things to collect. It's cool how involved this tight-knit community is, and these devs are with their game. And man, I didn't even mention the DLCs. They make such amazing DLCs for Warfare in different eras that are so cool, and all have their own unique maps and weapons and vehicles and factions, and they breathe so much life into this game, practically not a single reused asset. They are all crafted uniquely and individually for each DLC. They are even making another DLC that is yet to come called Eastern Front. Now that theater will be a super interesting one to play. And beyond that, they are releasing a free DLC, I think. And if it isn't, I will still support you, Osumia Games, I promise. Now, not that many people know this game, and few play it. But what's more exciting is the fact that the devs are making a vanilla DLC as well alongside Eastern Front to release, as to expand the current campaign of the game after 11 years. And are working on a second game after 11 years, which looks beautiful. I mean, look at the trailer, and compared to the gameplay footage you see throughout this video every now and then. This stuff is super exciting, and it makes me wonder how many more little games and communities are out there that are self-sufficient and have been able to make a living and grow and entertain their own group of gamers for years. This is one of my own and my first communities I've involved myself into, and I continue to show them love and support with DLCs and even the support DLC for the devs, which not many people get for many games, but it felt so worth purchasing for Osumia Games. So, Osumia Games, I love you. I love running with rifles, and I'm so excited for Eastern Front, and running with rifles extended, and running with rifles too. And I really hope that maybe, just maybe a video like this can break the surface and more people can know about your game, because god damn, it has been hard to find something remotely even similar. Anyways, let's move on. Now, Now, what could be raising alarms in most people's heads? I mean, sane people, is that this game technically took me 11 years to finish. Now, I restarted the game from the ground up and finished it in about 3 weeks. But then that really shows that I might have an attention problem. I might have a problem when it comes to finishing things. I mean, I love doing things. I love starting things and doing things, and sometimes I'm on and off with certain activities, and, well, this is a whole can of worms, but I'm starting to realize that I want to finish more. I want to bring things to an end little by little. All of it to an end, piece by piece. It has been a weird feeling of finishing Lego Batman and now this, and I didn't even feel this before with other games. I think I felt it once or twice with, finishing a book here and there. I went through a phase where I was reading a fair amount of books that I had to buy for my English courses, but, books cost money and I have none. So I stopped reading and seeking those literary accomplishments. Now you may say video games also cost money, but I've gotten rid of the habit of just, buying games when I don't need anymore. But that still left me with a giant backlogged Steam library. And I say backlogged because, I got rid of the habit of buying games I don't need. So now this backlogged Steam library has been starting to serve as a way to develop the ability to see things through. And I want to see things through. I'm currently doing a master's and I'm at my unhappiest I've ever been, and genuinely need the strength to see things through because I want a job, I want a home, and the time and space to make other hobbies flourish. So right now I've been trying to finish all I can with the time I have. My master's, healing my mental health, pursuing more fitness, and attempting more challenging things, and working towards my only hobby at the moment. YouTube and streaming through the use of, finishing video games. For some reason it seems like the most rewarding and the most appeasable. Is that even a word? I don't know. Anyways, it's taken me 11 years to finish this game, and I don't want to be like that anymore. I hope that by finishing games and creating videos on them, I can naturally create a habit for finishing more things in life and pursuing much grander achievements and challenges in the things I'm doing or have been stagnant in. So cheers to self-development in its own unique way, I guess. This should not have been at number 2. Moving on. Hey, we're back at it again. How long has it been? My last achievement video was technically 3 months ago, since that Dark Souls Remastered run required a different ending. But my last 100% was 4 months ago. Shit. Okay, so this is how we're gonna do this. This is how my brain works, alright? We're gonna go in the order of the global achievement unlocks, with, tiny little details here and there. Now, running with rifles has 45 achievements, most of which span the entirety of one campaign, and 2 of which are obtained by finishing the remaining 2 campaigns. The campaigns remain the same, but the faction you can use to complete them are different. Anyways, that'll make more sense later, but there are 3 factions: green belts, gray collars, and brown pants. And we choose to use green belts for our first campaign. Now, you finish a campaign by conquering several maps. There are 10 of them named, and 2 of them unnamed. We have Keepsake Bay, Fridge Valley, Old Fort Creek, Moorland Trenches, Vigil Island, Rattlesnake Crescent, Black Gold Estuary, Railroad Gap, Bootleg Islands, and then the unnamed ones being Final Mission 1 and Final Mission 2. You complete the game when you've completed the final mission. The order can vary, really, and I figured that out in my last run. Okay, so achievements. We unlocked Wannabe Killer by simply killing 100 enemy soldiers. Very quick achievement. You can probably get this within the first 10 minutes if you're goated. Who's the Boss was the second achievement we unlocked. Now, on the battlefield, an army is made up of several squads, with the max capacity being 11. 1 squad leader and 10 troops. Now, most soldiers are regular identical dudes with some wearing vests, but sometimes there are high-ranking officers which can be identified due to their different skins. And these are technically bosses. They're elite soldiers with high health, very accurate and high damage weapons, and they always have some very useful utility like a giant-ass RPG, a tracer, or some form of item for mass murder. So yeah, kill one and you get this. And you'll be killing a lot of them, don't worry. We then got our third achievement after conquering Keepsake Bay. First step to world domination. You get this after winning, on your first map. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I didn't die over 100 times on my first map. Yeah, I'm goated. But on our second map, we finally reached the 100th death and unlocked Don't Give Up. Now, we are just a foot soldier, okay? But when you think about it, we are the only sentient being on the battlefield. So sometimes you will be doing a lot, from infantry to artillery to a driver. And besides shooting, you will probably have to blow a lot of shit up. So when you destroy your 5th enemy vehicle, which in most cases will be a lot of APCs, you unlocked the Destroyer achievement. Kaboom. Kablow. Now, other than dying in this game, you'll be doing a lot of killing. Like a lot. And you will reach 500 kills very soon. So yeah, once you reach the 500th kill, you get the Serial Killer achievement. Very fitting, don't you think? This 7th achievement isn't a tough one, but its higher level one is. Now you'll notice that in the armory, other than rocket launchers and useless shields and whatnot, you can also carry a medkit to heal soldiers. The criteria for healing is simple. If you wear a vest, you can be revived. Other than that, you're an instant kill. So if any AI wore a vest, you can use a medkit to revive them. Doing that once gives you, and I mean, gave me, the Who Needs a Fix achievement. Other than killing soldiers and blowing vehicles up, and I said earlier you could blow shit up, and vehicles make up 50% of the shit that you can blow up. Structures make up the other 50% of that shit you can blow up. Oh wait, no, it's more like 33.3 because there's also another class of things you can blow up. But anyways, sometimes you will see water towers or radio towers or anti-air stations, and these are technically structures that need to be destroyed to strategically make the game easier for you. Radio towers let you use your radio again since they jam your signals. Anti-air lets you get air support since they stopped you from calling planes in. And water towers, yeah, they do nothing but give you RP, which in this case RP stands for radio points, I think. And XP as well by destroying them. Now this is a more natural achievement. It really depends, for different people. There are 3 of them actually, but they are unlocked on a basis of how many bullets you shoot. Which, to be honest, if you're a good shot, you will never unlock this. But anyways, after 10,000 of those bullets shot, you will unlock Bullet Waster, since you've already wasted so many bullets. But that's nothing compared to what comes next, trust me. Bullets are not the only way to kill enemies. There are many ways, such as grenades. This is also an achievement that will come naturally, since sometimes you're in a stalemate or in a pinch and you can't seem to get a shot on the enemy, so you hack a fat loogie at them, hoping the grenade will make it behind their cover and go kaboom. And if you get 100 of these pesky gray collars or brown pants or eventually green belts with those, explosions, you unlock, oh my god, grenade. Most of the achievements in this game work like this. Let me give you a regular example. So let's say there's an achievement for killing 500 enemies. Great. That would essentially be like the bronze. And then the next achievement would be killing 1,000 of them, and that would be the silver. And the last one would be killing 10,000 of them, and that would be the gold. So you get one achievement for killing one elite soldier, which we spoke about already. And once you kill 5 of them, you get the boss cleaner achievement, which is the silver class of this achievement class. Does that make sense? Okay, yes, so bullets, grenades, and another form to kill is vehicles. You can get an achievement for running enemies over. This becomes a tedious one later, but for now you unlock Road Rage by killing 5 enemies with your vehicle. Now this is a cool, unique, and unexpected feature of the game. However, alongside enemy radio towers and whatnot to destroy, there are also enemy prison gates and prison buses, which when destroyed release free prisoners of the faction you're playing as. Strategically, these are great to destroy because they give you an increased number cap for your teammates, and they also remove an enemy spawn point. Destroying one of these gives you an achievement called Prison Break. You'll most likely get this on Vigil Island. So, you've reached 5 destroyed enemy vehicles, which gave you Destroyer. But once you destroy 10 enemy vehicles, which you will be doing, trust me, there will be plenty of annoying vehicles to get rid of, and it will most likely be your job to do that. I mentioned APCs, but there are tanks, Humvees, mortar tanks, the Vulcan, and radio jammer trucks. Oh, and don't destroy cargo trucks. That's the only vehicle you should not destroy. If a single cargo truck contributed to this achievement, I'm truly disappointed in you. For our 15th achievement, we are 33.33% of the way there. We unlock the achievement called Again and Again. And yeah, you kind of get it. This achievement speaks for itself. This achievement technically describes the game, actually, and teaches a valuable lesson of trying again and again and again and again and again. And I say it like that because on your 200th death, you unlock this achievement. And you're going to die a lot in this game. There's even a little pop-up that shows up when you die like a fucking idiot way too many times. It's kind of funny. Anyways, you went from wannabe killer to becoming a serial killer, and from a serial killer to a star-spangled elite killer. I'm so proud. I unlocked this achievement after KIAing 1,000 enemy soldiers, by any means possible. Good man, what a good soldier, no? For our 17th achievement, we unlocked Recruit Weapon Dealer. Now, every faction has their own unique weapons in their armory, and you are free to pick these up off of dead bodies and use them for yourself. However, if you die, you don't spawn with them, unless you take 5 of the same weapon to your armory, which will then lead to its production, and it will allow you to now use it, and spawn with it yourself. Now this only works with common weapons from enemy teams, which are the weapons with the gray background. Any weapon with a blue name and background is unique, and once you lose it, well, you lose it. So you store these in your armory for collection. But yeah, you unlock this achievement after unlocking your first enemy faction weapon. It's a bitch to do this later with less frequent enemy weapons.
Rest in peace, my granny, she got hit by a bazooka. Kaboom.
This achievement will also come naturally, killing 200 enemies with blast projectiles. If you're lucky, a grenade will get anywhere from 2 to 6 enemies, since some of them cluster up behind the same cover. Goofballs. I would suggest getting regular grenades since they can bounce off of surfaces. Don't really use impact grenades for infantry because if you clip a surface, your grenade goes off earlier than you wanted it to. Do, however, use these for vehicles so they don't drive away before the grenade blows up. Once you destroy enough enemy structures, once again predominantly water towers and radio towers, you unlock Master Saboteur. If you're on a mission to destroy structures, I would suggest taking C4, You don't respawn with it, but then again, most of these missions are one way. You take the C4, blow the structure up, and you're lucky if you actually make it out alive from behind enemy lines. Now, early into the game, the only structures you're going to encounter are water towers, fuel tanks, mortar ammo, and radio towers. So this achievement you don't really get until later on when you realize your radio calls are extremely limited and find out, shoot, the enemy has anti-air. So now you have to recon for anti-air. Reconning for radio towers is easy because once your radio is out, you're within the radius of the radio tower. Anti-air is a little more difficult since one anti-air could be anywhere, and it affects the whole map. There's some deduction methods for this in 3-faction warfare, but in 1-faction v 1-faction it is usually secluded behind or between enemy lines, and its spawn is random, not the same. And I learned that the hard way in Moorland Trenches after trying to hit the airport several times to then find out it's not even here. But anyways, slap a C4 on that puppy and kaboom, and you will unlock the free airspace achievement. By now, you're probably a pro, and many things no longer faze you, so you'll most likely unlock the I am the boss achievement after killing 10 elite soldiers fairly quickly, since you will have a higher squad count to keep you safe while you target high priority enemy threats. These guys also become easy to kill once you understand their AI. With countless elite lives taken, you will also encounter a lot of resistance and enemy vehicle spamming. Like, a lot. Just wait till you get to Black Gold Estuary, that map's a bitch. But you will get the chance to destroy APC and tank after tank and unlock Wreckage Master once you reach your 20th blown up vehicle. And on that note of blowing shit up, we have now reached our last structure related achievement. Once you reach 10 destroyed enemy structures and 2 destroyed communication structures, you obtain the Elite Saboteur achievement. And this will come naturally as the AI can't destroy these things, I think. It is always up to you. Now, in a game that is chaotic and loud and top down, you'd think stealth wouldn't be a thing. No, buddy. There is stealth. We have now reached a new set of achievements, the stealth ones. They are kind of a checklist now that you think about it, So during your reconning of enemy structures, you might have taken a ghillie suit and a suppressed weapon and encountered some enemy occupation. So if you silently stab 2 baddies, shoot 10 with a suppressed weapon, and spot 2 strategical enemy structures, you unlock the Special Forces Trainee achievement. You don't have to actively pursue this one, you will fill it in as you go. And there's a mission that is 100% stealth for you to do, all of these achievements later on. On many maps, you will find prison buses to destroy. Not as strategic objectives, but as an itch to blow shit up. They're tough to blow up, so if you spot one, go get a C4 and clear the area. But destroying 3 of these unlocks the Release Your Mates achievement. Now, I think if you noticed, but achievement categories are organized into 3 tiers: bronze, silver, and gold. So the gold achievement for blowing enemies up is the You've Blown Them Away achievement, which you get after reducing 500 enemy soldiers to atoms with blast projectiles. This one might come naturally, or not. It's kind of tough, but the secret is that accidentally killing allies also counts. But when you roadkill your 20th soldier, you unlock Out of My Way. And this one might also come naturally. Well, maybe not, since you will probably always carry rocket launchers, but healing your 5th soldier unlocks the Healing Hands. Now, the trick here is that you can also injure your own faction's vest wearers and pick them up with a medkit, too. Now, for our gold standard achievement on death count, reaching 500 deaths gives you Give Up Already. Now, I would expect you to unlock this far into the game, maybe in Bootleg Islands or Rattlesnake Crescent. Please, right? Okay, so 16 achievements to go. There's a mission called Final Mission 1, which involves raiding an officer outpost of one of the remaining factions. However, on the way there, your heli team is shot down, and you're the only survivor. So you need to stealthily make your way through the camp, killing all the enemies, with the win condition being getting rid of every single radio jammer in the area. This will easily unlock the Spec Ops Expert achievement by reaching 5 stabbed, 20 killed with a suppressed weapon, and spotting 7 strategic structures. There's also a gold standard achievement in this category, which you unlock on this map too, but we'll get there soon. Now, by winning a campaign, you unlock an achievement respective to the faction you won as. Most people, actually all people that play this game, apparently only choose green belts. So do I. But nice, once you finish the green belts campaign after completing Final Mission 2, you unlock green belts World Domination. And the win condition for Final Mission 2 is destroying an experimental enemy tank called the Dark Cat. Destroying that ends the mission and unlocks Dark Cat is history. Now, the following achievements will most likely be completed in one run before you finish the campaign, with the exception of 4 achievements I will call out when we get to them. But during your fight, you would have gotten the chance to unlock an enemy faction's main automatic rifle, shotgun, machine gun, sniper, and rocket launcher, giving you a full enemy arsenal and unlocking 5 enemy weapons. This gives you Master Weapon Dealer. For most people, this won't come naturally, so I used explosives and my own faction's vest wearers to my advantage to heal 10 soldiers, which unlocks the Heal the World achievement. If you got this normally, you are most likely a support in every game you play, and you're either a girlfriend or a bottom. I'm sorry. This will most likely come about near the end of your campaign, and it's only the silver tier. Oh boy. But firing 50,000 bullets unlocks Trunk Full of Bullets. Keep in mind most automatic rifles go to 30 rounds, and the machine guns which you carry, and you can only fire prone or behind cover, go up to 100 to 150. You can get a minigun which has 1,000 rounds, but it overheats. So just imagine how much of a pain in the butt the gold standard is. No bullets fired from emplacements or vehicles count, by the way. This achievement, with luck that you explore the map, should also come naturally as plenty of maps have prison buses. But your 5th destroyed prison bus gives you the Freedom achievement. As I mentioned earlier, this achievement will come by the end of Final Mission 1. If it doesn't, you really raw dog the campaign and didn't make it easier for yourself. But stabbing 10, killing 50 with a suppressed weapon, and spotting 15 strategical enemy structures gives you the gold standard stealth achievement, Elite Commando. Stealth is very satisfying in this game, especially with FOV on, which is something I forgot to mention. For the first campaign, I played on the highest difficulty with FOV, which was really fun. But man, the AI is really smart and aggressive in this difficulty. After completing the Greenbelts campaign, at this level I just played casual for Grey Collars and Brown Pants, and spawned in unique vehicles and weapons to roleplay the fuck out of this game as the coolest military motherfucker, living out my toy soldier dreams. So with that, I finished the Grey Collars campaign fairly quickly, and unlocked Grey Collars World Domination, and after that, I got to do it all over again with the Brown Pants, unlocking Brown Pants World Domination. Now the following achievements were all done in my Greenbelt save prior to finishing the campaign, so let's get to them. Rookie Tracker is an achievement unlocked by finding hidden crates, which have unique loot, and hitting cargo vehicles on certain maps, which unlock RP. Once you find 2 crates and 2 hidden vehicles, you unlock Rookie Tracker, the bronze level achievement. Truck Full of Bullets is unlocked by shooting 100,000 bullets. And I did this by reloading my Greenbelt save at the end of it all. This was my last achievement, by the way. Taking the minigun out of my loot stash and literally sitting there and firing it until I reached 100,000 shots. So you can unlock all the weapons of one enemy faction, which is 5. But if you unlock the third faction's weapons in the same save, another 5, you obtain the gold standard achievement for weapon dealing, Expert Weapons Dealer, for 10 enemy weapons unlocked. Now this next one was a stinker. I just kept calling down airborne troops and running them over, but road killing 100 soldiers gives you Road Devil. And finally, once you find your 5th special crate, forgot to mention that I used a guide for these. They are either metal or wooden and always have a question mark on them. And once you find your 4th hidden cargo vehicle, you obtain Master Tracker. And now, my friends, we've reached the final achievement, the 45th one. Now this achievement is tricky. Elite Tracker. It requires you find 10 special crates and 8 secret cargo vehicles. Now the special crates are no problem. You will find more than you will ever need, but a campaign only has 7 hidden vehicles in it. And achievements are only tracked within one campaign save. Now I unlocked this by going to a map that I had already liberated in the Greenbelts campaign that had a secret cargo vehicle, and then resetting it and liberating it all over again, and then finding the truck and taking it to the armory. Now what I didn't know until I finished the Grey Collars campaign is that when you finish the last mission and get that stamp of completion, it asks you to restart. Oh brother. Yeah, I made 2 separate saves, one for Greenbelts and one for Grey Collars and Brown Pants. So at the end of the Grey Collars campaign, it let me restart as Brown Pants, and I kept all my stats, all my kills and trackers and rank. And had I done this from the start with Greenbelts, I probably would not have had to sit there with a fucking minigun shooting it endlessly or injuring my own team for achievements. But alas, you live and you learn. Don't let the dopamine of completion make you alt F4. Read, please. It'll make achievement hunting so much easier. But with that, we had unlocked the 45 achievements running with rifles had to offer, and put it into a 100% folder. Now this game has 2 DLCs and 2 upcoming DLCs, so eventually I will play through all of those, and with no need to achievement hunt, I can just play them for fun, and I'll stream it too, soon. Highest difficulty in FOV2, so stay tuned. Or, ask me and I'll stream it for you. But achievement hunting concluded. Let's move on. Now, running with rifles has been out for a while, and to be honest, I never found RTS games in my youth. Instead, I found this, and fell in love with the idea of a different kind of RTS, but not as the supreme godlike commander. I enjoyed RTS where you were one of the units on the field being commanded. It really was a whole new perspective, and I would not be surprised if the inspiration for this game was the thought of Red Alert, but instead of controlling every unit, you were just one unit on the board. So genuinely, I think the idea of running with rifles brings onto the table is unique, and a huge staple in strategy video games. It feels like it has a lot of potential to bring a fresh perspective to video games, something new. I think it blends together RTS and top-down video games very well. The first game didn't blow up as much as I thought it might have, but that's just because I love it. So I was kind of shocked. But I hope the second one is really well received and lets more people experience this piece of beautiful art. There are a plethora of top-down shooters out there, and a lot of them do have the same premise. Very few of them try to mix together the elements Running with Rifles has tried to mix together. It's just so weird to have a game that can function 100% in first person or third person, function as a top-down, yet it feels so right. I think if Running with Rifles was first person or third person, I would not have touched it. The idea of the game is a lot more profound now that I've played a variety of video games, and to be honest, understand the effort and love that goes into making these passion projects. But as a kid, all I wanted to experience was what it was like to play with toy soldiers, an infinite amount of them, all alive, all moving, and with a plethora of units. Anyways, I will get better at this whole analysis thing, but I think this unique war game is a staple in shooter games and in PC indie games, and you should really try it out for yourself and understand what I mean when I say that there is nothing out there like this. Except for Running with Rifles 2, soon. Anyways, on that note, now that we are nearing the end of our video, I wanted to take a little moment to talk about Running with Rifles 2. Now, Asumia Games only has one game out there, Running with Rifles, and for 11 years has given it a lot of love. It's kind of like Relogic with Terraria, but yeah, Terraria 2 would never work. Now, Running with Rifles was a game that was made to run on hardware that is a little outdated now, and while the game is good and works very well the way it is, computers nowadays allow for a little more pizzazz in there. War games should not have certain limits to it, per se. And I think Running with Rifles 2 will present a lot of game-changing aspects that have come out over the years for tactical shooters and present it in its own unique way once more. Now with the Running with Rifles 2 trailer, there is a lot I'm excited for. First and foremost is storytelling. Shooters are for those who like action, but a good shooter has a good story behind the senseless chaos and violence and countless lives lost for a cause. And Running with Rifles 2, let's just say RWR2, is presenting that. Not just as a campaign with factions fighting for no reason, like toy soldiers. Their new game is going to have a living world with factions that have reason they're fighting, and a map that has no loading screens. Every single map is part of a huge map that you can actively explore without anything stopping you. It makes the conquest of the original game presented in a much more complicated and grand way. You don't just have to be tactical, you have to be strategic too. Now the next thing I'm super excited for is the fact that there are aircraft now. Helicopters, which is insane. It makes troop transport and insertions a lot more fun. And I mean, Running with Rifles had a lot of vehicles, so I can't wait to see what variety of aircraft we'll have. But with aircraft comes the next big question. How do you hide from it? Well, Running with Rifles 2 is now producing fully usable interiors to buildings. No more props that just act as cover. You'll now be able to take cover within buildings, and your ability to maneuver these structures will be tested, with CQC being more important, and checking corners when FOV is on being highly important. And maybe you guessed it, but with building interiors, well, you can't just have people hiding in there indefinitely. There will now be destructible buildings, which brings the scale of warfare to a whole new level and expands how you now approach your fights. There's a lot more to use and a lot more to worry about. I think RWR2 will be so much fun and will be really interesting for the gaming community to take a gander at nowadays, with the plethora of mindless and soulless video games that keep coming out as cash grabs. Amongst all that are unique games like these, from developers that actually care. So take a look at the teasers, take a gander at it, maybe try RWR first, and let me know what you think. Anyways, with that, my friends, this video has come to an end. This was yet another fun video to make on another 100% that I've completed. I've come a long way from the original videos I used to make, and it's satisfying to finish a game, make a video on it, and move on, instead of doing, percentage-based videos. And even now, it is so much fun to just talk about things I like and make videos on them instead of trying to milk the next big thing, or the same thing for the sake of views. Nah, I'm here on a mission, to 100% all my games, and make a video on each. And I might have to 100% games twice since I own more than one copy on different accounts. Who knows, we shall see. So far, the main thing is 100%ing each game once, and then worrying about the main account later. Thank you for watching, if this interested you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. Whether it's one of you or a handful, you viewing my art is what makes it all worthwhile. I hope you enjoyed Running with Rifles. I hope you look forward to RWR2, and maybe you're interested in trying a new game. And I will see you soon for the Project Zomboid video, and fingers crossed, right after that, an Elden Ring video. Or whatever other game I 100%. So thank you for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.